नमस्ते, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। I am JVN Dr. Anamika Aherwal, Associate Professor in the Department of Science and Technology at Jayoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. Today I am going to take the lecture on the topic multi-level transactions. Multi-level, as the name itself means, that there are multiple levels from which you have to uh, processing in terms of the transactions, right? So multi-level transactions means the transactions that are abstracted into sub transactions implemented by a set of lower level operations. So the abstraction can be extended to multiple areas, and this multiple level this T's means transactions can be generalized version of nested transactions. So this multi-level T, this lets the subtraction commit immediately, okay, thereby waiving the right of unilateral backout of updates. Instead, compensating subtractions for the sub that that is about to commit is installed, so it can be executed in case the pre-committed results turn out to be invalid. Okay, so here this multi-level transactions might there is some sort of problem. The next is that the compensating sub T's can be thrown away unused, but the root transactions commits. Since compensating sub T's exist at all levels, it is granted that all updates can be revoked. Even if the root transaction fails and a whole number of sub T's have committed before. So the fine for long duration T's, concurrency can be increased. Next is the multi-level versus nested transactions. I have already discussed about the nested transactions in the previous video. So if we are talking about in terms of layers, in multi-level, a predefined number of levels, two adjacent pairs define a layer. If you are talking about the nested transactions, then there is a no predefined notation of layers. Then comes to the second one, that is abstractions. If you are talking about the abstraction, in multi-level, the higher the level, the more abstract the operations. Okay, if we are talking about the nested, in this not necessarily a notion of abstraction. Then come to the concurrency control. In this concurrency control opens for a modular approach to the concurrency control. If we are talking about the nested, means a nested a single global mechanism must be used in the nested. Here it is open, so open modular approach is used. Here it is single mechanism, global mechanism is used. So you can say this multi-level T's notion of layer is very important. How? Because it prevents serialization problems between pre-committed subtractions. Okay, so because they are protected by the transactions on the higher levels. You see here in this graphical representation, this is a top level T is running, bus N has been started, sub N has committed and has installed its compensating T's, Cn. That will get started if T aborts, Cn must commit. So you see here that this A is triggered to this one and this A is again triggered to this B. Okay, so because this is the rollback condition occurs in C, only one shareable mode should be there. Okay, so you see that this is a point where A is triggered, this is a point where A is triggered. So this is all about that. Now come to the distributed transactions. In distributed transactions, these are basically typically a flat transactions that run in a distributed environment and therefore has to visit several nodes in the network. And this is depending on where the data is. Okay, so in these distributed transactions, the conceptual distance between a distributed transaction and a nested transaction is, first, the structure of nested transactions is determined by the functional decomposition of the application, that is, by what the application views as SOC. Next means the structure of the distributed transaction. It will totally depends on the distribution of the data in a network. So even for a flat transaction, from the application point of view, a distributed transactions may have to be executed for data involved are scattered across the number of nodes. Now come to this diagram, also graphical representation. Here you see root T is running at the node A. Okay, so this is the node because this is the running one. Here remote sub T1 and T2 have been started. Okay, because there you say multiple, these are engaged with this and these are engaged with this. So multiple things are happening. So multi-level transactions basically the transactions that are abstracted into sub transactions implemented by a set of lower level transactions. In this, the abstraction can be extended to multiple levels. The multiple levels T's are generated version of nested transactions. Multi-level of the sub transactions commit immediately, uh, thereby for this waiving the right of unilateral back out of updates. In this multi-level transaction, instead, a compensating subtractions for the sub T that is about to commit to increase, so that it can be executed in the case of the pre-committed results turn out to be invalid. Okay, so you should remember this. The next is the compensating sub T's can be thrown away unused when the root transaction commits. Okay, since compensating sub T's exist at all levels, means it is guaranteed that all updates can be revoked, and even if the even if the root transaction fails and a whole number of sub trees have committed before. So for long term duration T's, concurrency can be increased. Here you see the comparison between the multi-level and the nested. Here you see in this diagram, if we are talking about in terms of layers, then this multi-level is of course a predefined number of levels, as I previously discussed about that also. Okay, no predefined notation layer. Okay, so for abstraction and this concurrency control, So this is all about the comparison of this, and this I have already discussed about this graphical notation. Okay, so the, this is the our distributed transactions, as I have already discussed about. Now come to the short versus long transactions. Uh, in this traditional transactions are of short durations, means like seconds and minutes. So traditional schemes rely on blocking transactions terminating quickly, thus enabling other transactions to continue execution. Whereas if we are talking about the long transactions, um, for this traditional DBMS enforces serializability schedules of I'm sorry, this if you are talking about this long transactions, when transactions execute for long durations, this schema does not work. Long running transactions may block out other transactions for days or months. The next is the traditional DBMS enforce serializability schedules for transactions, with the major difference being in the size of the information grain whose access is individually controlled. Whereas for the long transactions in DBMS for non-standard applications domain tend to be very long, or you can say consequently the usual serializability criterion is important educate the long duration of these tasks. Traditionals means that the convey, or you can say concurrency control strategies used in conventional DBMS are not appropriate. Now come to the long lived transactions. What are these long lived transactions? There are some examples like computer aided design, case, bulk updates, and the long transactions mechanism should be able to save intermediate states. This can be accomplished by save points or nested transactions. However, these techniques do not increase concurrency, but there are of course some solutions. If there is a problem, then there is a solution. Then what are these solutions? Min batch, sagas, cooperative transactions. These are the solutions of this long lived transactions. Now come to the mini batch. In this mini batch, a primitive solution for bulk updates are there, like adding interest to 100,000 accounts. The huge sequence of actions is split into shorter sequences which are run as separate transaction, that means mini batches, and the control of the application program. The next one is the application program keeps track of progress, saving the identity of the last successful executed research min batch in a safe place. What does it mean? It means the database, like in HTML you are creating, and you can insert the table also. So for this word, uh, this mini batch, in this the huge sequence of action is split into shorter sequence. Okay, so this shorter distance runs as separate transactions, which is called as mini batch, and this comes under the control of the application program. The next is the application program keeps track of progress, saving the identity of the last successfully executed mini batch in a safe place. That means the database. So their simple solutions minimize lost work. The application program is really doing transaction monitoring work. Transactions are the transactions are other application programs may intermingle. Next come to the sagas, which we will cover in the next session, and this is all about today's session. This session powered by digital version 2.0 Jayati Vidyapeeth Women's University Jaipur. Hope you are satisfied with my digital session, and if you have any query, please mention in the comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.